Very few members of the animal kingdom stir as much emotion as do wolves. Some people hunt to get a glimpse of them, while some simply hunt them. In Montana, all of them fall under the management of the Montana Department of Fish, Wildlife, and Parks.
We are charged with their management, and the state legislature has put some conditions on that management. And so our job, again, is to follow the law, to do sound science, and then implement the decisions that the commission and the state legislature makes.
Now, the Fish and Wildlife Commission takes FWP's scientific information about the wolves in Montana, and with FWP's input comes up with hunting and trapping numbers as part of that management plan. The commission also takes input from the public. A lot of input.
Certainly wolves invites a big audience, a big interest, a big informed interest, a big commitment, a lot of passion. And I think it may be some long days for everybody as they either wait in line in their role to get to the podium, or a decision maker trying to sift through all of the details, figuring out where they're going to vote, or the agency trying to keep up with the conversation with science inputs as the conversation looks for them. But step back a little bit. It can only be a good thing when the citizenry is thick and engaged and committed and involved in all of those conversations.
FWP also coordinates with livestock producers who suffer loss from wolves. Once again, constant tracking and data collection goes into the ultimate response to that loss.
If wolves are confirmed as the cause of the mortality, essentially we have to determine which wolves are responsible. And so we will help, either if we have a GPS collar that can help us determine, yes, these wolves were responsible, or no, in fact, they weren't. Perhaps there's uncollared wolves. They may deploy a radio collar to better inform who is responsible, and then come up with a targeted strategy to respond. And so it may very well be lethal removal, but we're trying to use the best information, consult with those folks to target offending wolves. Because really you just don't want a chronic situation where it's a learned behavior and we continue to lose livestock, and then in the long run you end up removing more wolves.
Parks notes that FWP took over management in 2011 when wolves were delisted, removing them from federal management. Keeping a population that will continue functioning under state management, another key focus of FWP's work with wolves.
That gave us some great flexibility in being able to use harvest as a tool to manage the population, be more flexible in our livestock conflict response. So the population grew and then dropped slightly and has kind of more or less stabilized. We saw a slight decline the last couple years, and we've stabilized again this year. But just with that state management authority, which is kind of one of our key objectives, we want a healthy, sustainable population. We want to be able to maintain state management authority so that we have these tools available to manage the population, as well as some of these different concerns that may arise over time.
That also includes public input. And the longer FWP manages the wolves, the better informed the public is about the wolves.
You're right. As wolves have come to Montana, every year a longer history of state management, and the citizenry has kept right up with the opportunities that process provides them, the commission provides them to engage and help steer the direction of wolf management.
So with that regular public input, along with continued research and regular monitoring of the wolves in Montana, FWP will continue to manage the wolves in Montana. A goal of FWP with wolves and every other species in the state.
Our commitment to those folks who don't harvest wolves, that at the end of the season, when all the take is done, whether that be from hunters, trappers, administrative take, we factor in natural mortality, that there will remain a healthy population of wolves on the landscape. So for us, that's wolf management.
In Bozeman, Chet Layman, MTN News.